My people were biologically determined for one purpose alone, to sense the coming of damn fine podcasts. I sense it coming now. You will never be able to podcast as good as us. Your tongue is too human.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Discovery Home Companion. Your home for all your Discovery recaps and some companionship, I guess, but not like that. We're just
for all of your companion needs.
Yes, no weird stuff.
I'll start my own podcast for the weird stuff.
All right. With me going through the next 15 or more episodes, at least 15, because that's how many episodes there will be in Star Trek Discovery. But with me is James Nolan.
Hey, guys.
And Hugh Crawford.
Hello.
And I am your companion, Wade Bowen. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, and going through episode by episode and breaking it down. But hey, the show hasn't aired yet, and we still have, things to talk about the show. We're not going to talk about like every little nitpicky thing, like I heard that in a document Roddenberry mentioned that Vulcans have forked penises or something. Nothing like that. We're not. We're just gonna talk about this show today. We're doing our preseason predictions.
I propose we jettison whatever we were going to talk about and talk exactly that.
Oh well, it's a.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. No,
that's
okay.
just a thing I made up, James. It's not real.
I
hate to break it to you,
but this particular episode of a Discovery Home Companion, we are doing what?
We're doing our preseason predictions. Yes, everybody's got a lot of thoughts about what this show is going to be and what it might not be.
And we're making Lockhart predictions that will be mocked at for when they don't happen.
Right, because what's the point of having a podcast if you can't be right about something and then have it documented and have it documented, right?
Okay.
Yes. And of course, we all think we're going to be right, and we all think that the whole season is just going to be mocking everybody else's opposing views, but it'll probably not work out well for me, but I play along like poor people play scratchers, man. Or I play. I don't know. I always hope that this time I will show all you assholes what I'm about.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, on that note, do you want us to kick it off with your prediction, your first prediction?
Oh, I go first. Okay. Well, okay. So from the ads, we have, and I think we talked about this in a little bit of the podcast. They've shown a lot of Michelle Yeoh and Michelle Yeoh sort of nurturing our lead, who's played by what actress? I keep calling her Walking Dead, but I don't know.
Sonequa Martin Green.
All right. And Michelle Yeoh sort of, mentoring her, and really no Jason Isaacs or very minimal Jason Isaacs. And it leads, I think that Michelle Yeoh is probably brought on to be the villain. I think it's led to make you think that Jason Isaacs is going to be the villain, but I wonder if Michelle Yeoh will be, and then Jason Isaacs will be the sort of, like the Dr. Cox, like the hard-nosed asshole who it turns out is more helpful to her than the more nurturing figure from the beginning.
She's gonna like learn the person, her mother was evil the whole time, kind of thing.
Or or just that, and the thought of that occurred because I think like Michelle Yeoh would be a pretty, like, she's most famous for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where she's opposite the lead female. The actual Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where she plays opposite her, and an antagonism of that, it was really a joy to watch. So I'm not only would look forward to her being an antagonist, but think it would be kind of cool.
That is a pretty bold prediction.
That is very bold.
She's already one of the fan favorites. It seems that everybody's excited about seeing her being brought into like Star Trek continuity.
Right.
So that would be a real big surprise, I think, for most people if she turned out to be a bad guy or unsympathetic.
Yeah, the way I see her character working out, it's going to be like she's going to be the good cop and Jason Isaacs is going to be the bad cop, or maybe even better, she's going to be the angel on one shoulder.
Yes.
And Jason Isaacs going to be the devil on the other shoulder, and Sonequa Martin Green, or Michael Burnham, the character's name, is going to have to learn to bridge the divide and be a centrist. Or true neutral. Or
oh my God. Oh, that probably is what it is. And that's going to vomit. No, I mean, we also know that her other mentor, which is Sarek, we know that he, let's hope that this show doesn't end with Sarek being an evil son of a bitch. That would be...
Well, we know they can't do that because...
Yeah, well, can they?
Well, I guess they could. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty bold one right off the bat.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. Michelle Yeoh is listed on IMDb for all 15 episodes. So that is interesting.
That's what made me think of that, because in last theory, I postulated that she might be stunt casting and die in like the first or second episode.
Well, she might appear in flashbacks, like as a part of a mystery that's unraveled.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Kit Harington wasn't scheduled to be in season 6 of Game of Thrones.
Sure.
He didn't have a contract for that season. But I don't know. I think that once you told me that, and I was like, okay, that means she's probably a good chunk of the,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and how does she fit in?
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's a damsel in distress that needs to be saved by Michael Burnham. And that, I don't know. That's probably what it is. But I mean, that very well could be what it is. But it's not what I want to see.
Yeah.
And so that's my theory.
Okay.
Interesting.
Moving on. Are we moving to you next here, Hugh? Or
sure. Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
My prediction has to do with Jason Isaacs, who's going to be playing Captain Lorca. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Captain Gabriel Lorca. I predict that he will somehow be, maybe not the bad guy, but will definitely be like an unsympathetic character, somebody who maybe clashes with our protagonist. A lot's been made about how this isn't going to follow Roddenberry's rules. So they've been talking about how Starfleet officers are going to have conflict with each other, and I'm predicting that since Jason Isaacs is typically plays a bad guy, that he is in the very least an unsympathetic character for the majority of the season, and in relationship to the protagonist. Okay, that being said, if he's a bad guy or just simply an asshole captain that does not get along with the lead, I still think my prediction is that despite this, he'll probably be this season's MVP as far as acting is concerned. And I say that mostly because he was in the OA, which is pretty much the worst thing I've ever seen on TV. But his acting was so good in that he rose above the material. So I feel like he's got chops. And I know that a lot of these other actors on here are talented and good at their jobs, but I feel like Jason Isaacs has got something special about him that he could really shine with this kind of material. So my preseason prediction is Jason Isaacs. It will be season MVP.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. He's pretty great.
The thing that I like about him the most, especially in the OA, but you'll see it in other movies where he's cast as the villain, less so in Harry Potter or The Patriot, both of which are, he's sort of a very one-dimensional role.
Cartoon characters, basically.
Cartoon characters, yeah. But in all of his other performances, he plays power, and he plays like that kind of way, but he also knows how to like temper it with some weakness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like some personal sort of like there's ambition, and every villain has power, and every villain in a show has ambition. But he knows how to like temper it with personal interest. Like that he's kind of like in OA, he's excited. He's legitimately excited about the stuff that he's doing. So, and in watching that, how when you watch someone have like a giddy sort of like when you watch somebody doing something that they're good at and that they're super passionate about, you want to like it, but it's torturing these people in his basement. And so it's like,
right.
It's not, it's and then like he has these
spoilers for the OA.
Yeah.
Also spoilers, that show sucks.
Yeah, it shows. But skip to the end to watch the very last scene.
Oh God,
it's amazing.
We're already losing more of our audience that loves that show.
Anyway.
Go listen to the ROA Rules of Acquisition where we take a dump on it.
We do take a dump on that, so you should check out that. But he's pretty great. But that's what he does, and I like that about what he brings to it.
Yeah. There was some speculation from fans that he was going to be. I mean, I want to keep this podcast accessible to the people that don't know the deep Star Trek Trekker nerd history. Apparently, there's a character called Garth of Izar or something from the original series that people thought he might be playing because it was a war hero from the Klingon War and Captain Kirk's like childhood hero or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Some people think. Oh, I know who you're.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
wait, I'm looking at him now. He's got a crown.
Yeah. I just memory alpha did as well, but he's not that guy. He's Gabriel Lorca or whatever. You know, I hope.
Okay, can we ask just while it seems like both of us had a Jason Isaac point. Why is his name like it's like a Spanish poet, but when he's on there, he's got like this.
He's got a southern accent.
Yeah.
Hey, if Jean-Luc Picard can be French and speak with a British accent.
True, that is true.
Future.
But there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance by doing these sort of things.
Oh.
Yeah, and Michael Burnham is a boy's name, yet.
Right.
Yeah, and that they actually explain that within story, right?
Yeah. She's named after her father, is my understanding. My guess, I guess this isn't a prediction I wrote down, but that her parents were killed by Klingons is my guess. Because she's a foster kid, basically, raised by Sarek and Amanda, which is Spock's mom, which I forgot on our last podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that would bring us to Wade's actual prediction, though.
Oh, yes.
If you want to go with your first prediction, Wade.
Yeah, I feel bad. My first prediction doesn't have anything to do with any of the actors or characters on the show, unless, it's like the ships are a character. It's like the city is a character in the story. No, but sorry. My first prediction is the Shinzu, or however you pronounce it, the ship that Michelle Yeoh, I forget her character's name.
Giorgio?
Oh, yeah, it's French, right?
Yeah.
Well, her ship, the Shenzhou, gets exploded in the first 3 episodes, is my prediction. Because Michael Burnham is the first officer on the Shenzhou, but she's also first officer on the Discovery. So what happens to the Shenzhou? Oh, it gets blowed up. That's it. It gets taken out, and she gets moved. Because I think Lieutenant Saru is also from the images that we've seen in the first trailer, which was actually showed no images from the actual bridge of the Discovery, but only of Michelle Yeoh's ship. Lieutenant Saru was on that too. So did they take more of the crew from this Shenzhou ship and put them on the Discovery or not? We don't know.
Interesting. We don't know.
They have mentioned characters as being, crew of one ship or the other, but as far as I know, only Michelle Yeoh has been announced as a crew person, i.e. the captain of the Shenzhou. I don't know. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we've got a problem. We've got 2 captains and 2 ships that we know about in the show. So how does that all jive, right?
Yeah.
And everything seems to be about the bridge crew of the ship that doesn't survive, or that the show's not named after.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, the Shenzhou is like an older ship in whatever time this is. It's been in service for a long time, and the Discovery is a new ship that I guess is maybe part of a secret project or something. We'll know when the show comes out exactly what that is. I didn't make a prediction about that. Maybe I should.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, James, what's your second prediction?
My second prediction is based a little bit off of just like a personal. All of these are based off somewhat of a personal preference.
Sure.
But also something that I think I've seen from some of the ads. Like I think that we all kind of I hate. I mean, like I don't hate him, but Harry Mudd's like a character I don't like.
He's kind of
just on the original show.
Yeah, he's a slimy. I mean, he's sorry to jump up on your shit.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He's kind of like a holdover from the '60s when pimps were really cool.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like a roguish, that sort of showy raconteur that I get the feeling that people in the 60s really laughed at. It was probably dads really found it funny in the 60s, and I just
I love those people that, subjugate and sell women.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like it was a different time. I don't find it, but I think that the way that Rainn Wilson looks and the way that sort of they portrayed him in the trailers, at least, it seems like his take on it is a lot darker.
Yeah.
And I think Rainn Wilson is He's one of my favorite actors, and I think we all know him as Garth, but he's done other things.
Dwight.
He's specifically done a movie.
Garth?
Dwight.
You're getting your British and American office mixed up.
I got my streams crossed there. He plays yes, Dwight, but he's amazing in a movie called Super.
Oh yeah, Super's fantastic.
I never saw it.
Oh, Wade, Super is that's right up Wade's alley. He would like.
You gotta see Super.
Okay,
it's the movie that James Gunn made before he made Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh shit! Yeah,
and it's totally just like it's absolutely fucked up. But you would expect Rainn Wilson to bring a certain amount of comedy to things, but he's naturally such a dark ass actor that I think that outside of Garth.
Dwight Schrute. Yeah.
Outside of Dwight, after Dwight Schrute that beats Bears in Battlestar Galactica. After that, after you get him out of that, he becomes this really compelling actor. And I think that he's bringing that to Harry Mudd. And I think that I'm probably that might be my favorite stuff in the show, is the Harry Mudd.
Really?
That's my prediction.
Well, okay, for those of you keeping track at home, Harry Mudd, Rainn Wilson, shows up in 9 episodes.
Yes.
So that is interesting. He's going to be there for more than just a cameo, it looks like. 9 episodes is a pretty substantial amount.
Yeah, they added him more on.
Mm-hmm.
I think they liked him so much, wait, let's add more Mudd and make him a bigger character on the show than it initially was.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if we notice if he's shoehorned or not. You know what I mean? If the original story had that much wiggle room, then it makes you kind of wonder.
Yeah, or maybe it didn't, and they're just like cramming it in there. Who knows?
Yeah, if he plays that, if it's clearly giving you more of like a casting so that they can add comedy or something like that to the show, I don't want to see that. But I mean, like I have complained that I think the show looks too dark.
I'd like some comedy. That doesn't sound too bad.
Well, yeah, I know.
But
comedy's great.
Fan service.
Bad comedy is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But what I want is I think the show is just pitched too dark generally.
I agree.
But I don't necessarily want to see Rainn Wilson be the sole person to try and change that.
Yeah.
I think that's a tonal thing that has to happen like across the board. So if you're going to do this dark show, I think that Rainn Wilson and Jason Isaacs can make it really dark, you know, and
they can sell that shit.
Probably, and be satisfying in that stuff. Wayne Wilson was also super fucking weird and awesome in his season on 6 Feet Under.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was obsessed with fucking the mom.
Yeah. That was before The Office. Yeah.
That was before The Office. I knew him as just that weird ass motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like, who's that necrophiliac, right?
Yeah, and his quick, I didn't watch a ton of it, but he had a show where we played like an alcoholic suicidal detective, and that he was pretty good in that too. That show sucked, but he was pretty good in it.
All right. Hugh, what's your second prediction?
All right, my second one is probably the saltiest one out of my 3. But bear with me.
I think this is targeted at me.
Well, or just whoever. No, it's targeted at a lot of just general fan chatter I've seen online. My feeling is, this is my prediction, that the Klingon stuff is probably going to be fine. And that people just need to relax about the Klingon stuff and the changes that we've seen. Because one of two things is going to be the situation. It's built in to serve a story. And if the story's good, you won't care that stuff has changed. Now, if it sucks, it's because the story is bad, and then you've got a bigger problem, and that's the fact that the story sucks.
Yeah.
But the Klingon, the stuff about the Klingons is not, at the end of the day, going to really matter that much. Because if you look at all the stuff throughout all Star Trek's 50-year history, it's always had Klingons, and they've always gone through some ridiculous, silly changes, and the fans have always rolled with it. At first, they had shoe polish on their face, and then they didn't, and then they had Selly putty on their face.
It's like somebody said, like, wait,
at first,
blackface is pretty bad, and in the same series,
right?
and then they just had a white guy,
and then as you go on, they have more and more ridiculous stuff about them built in. There's a lot of great stuff there. That's why a lot of people like it. That's why a lot of people dress up as Klingons, and a lot of people learn the language and get real deep into it. But there's a lot of, for Christ's sakes, they had a clone of one of their first emperors rule over them. If you can get over that sort of nonsense, you can get over whatever retrofitting canon shit they're going to do in this, unless the story itself sucks. But the Klingon stuff is going to be fine. That's my prediction. People need to relax about the Klingon stuff that they've seen. it will be fine. And if it's not the Klingon stuff's fault. It's the story's fault.
I agree with that. Like, yeah, in our inaugural podcast, I guess we harped a lot on the Klingon stuff, and I talked about the stuff that I didn't like about it. But at the same time, I think the Klingon stuff is what I'm most excited about in the show. Like, Tecumseh.
Well, sure. That's probably why they end up having it be the focus so much.
Yeah,
because
like,
they know fans
right,
love
they've
it.
been releasing all these character promos for all the characters, like where they just stand in front of a camera and do some voiceover. And most of them have left me kind of cold. But they released one recently with, I forgot Chris Obi, I think is his name, is the actor, and he plays Tecumseh, which is the lead Klingon in the show, I think, that's trying to unite all the houses. And I was like, all right, I'm aboard. I love this shit. He's holding a batleth, and I don't know. It was exciting for me.
Okay, so to defend my position that the Klingon stuff makes my stomach turn
All right.
so far, what I will say is you're absolutely right. If the story, like I said in the last podcast, like I'll say about anything in this world, if the story fucking rings cherries, man, if the story works, then it doesn't matter. Anything they do doesn't matter.
Right.
But on the other hand, my fear is that they are basically using the name Klingons and our excitement for Klingons as a placeholder for badass fucking aliens, whatever, blank slate. And then they build that slate around there, where my appreciation of the Klingons is not as their badass tough aliens. Star Trek has tons of that shit, and nobody, I mean, I wouldn't be excited about them fighting the Jemadar or something like that, or the Breen.
And there's no Gorn in this, to people's disappointment, but that's an alien from the original series, people. Sorry, I feel like I need to start explaining myself when I make these references.
Gorn would be nice, but my feeling is that they are just hijacking it to make a blank slate tough. Now, if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong. And so that's great. And that's not one of my predictions. So I'm giving them the open benefit to say that they could be shoehorning this into a tight, and everything is just a cosmetic change in that, but it's not the faces and stuff that bothers me. Like, the thing that I saw that really just kind of like just fucking irritated me was that those Master Chief battle armor suits. Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is absolutely not Klingon. Yeah. In the slightest.
Well, but that's my point. It doesn't matter because the time shifts. I mean, what's not Klingon in the original series is suddenly Klingon in Next Generation with all sorts of different shit. Yeah. I mean, there's changes from every series, and it doesn't really matter because people still roll with it and enjoy it.
And I believe the name that they called that suit is the Klingon torchbearer costume. And as far as I can tell, I'm pretty sure it's a spacesuit. It's not like they go into battle. It's like for vacuum outer space battle, not infantry on the ground or anything. And we haven't seen anybody with vacuum ready infantry armor or anything in Star Trek ever. We've seen like the EVA stuff in the motion picture and in the trailer for this series that Michael Burnham's in, but we never seen that for Klingon. So that
the one where Spock notoriously goes, "I have penetrated the V'ger orifice."
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I want to bring up this just to close out our brief Klingon conversation and go on to Wade's second prediction. For those of you at home listening, we refer to IMDb an awful lot. And in our other podcast, Rules of Acquisition, we'll be doing so on this podcast too. But so far, before the show's even aired, the IMDb page for Star Trek Discovery already has a goof listed for the series. And the goof is as follows. It says, the Klingons of this series, despite being in the Prime universe, very closely resemble Klingons of the Kelvin timeline. Yeah. That's listed as a goof, even though this show's not even started yet. I don't even know who edits these.
Well, that's that's like a Wikipedia edit, basically, I think. Yeah. Because some of the nerds are kind of upset about that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like, it's the level of outrage for just the minutia of Klingon aesthetics and culture.
They don't really look like the Kelvin ones.
They do more than they do the actual Klingons.
Yeah, maybe.
But I agree that if it's actual outrage, like if this is fucking up your life, you got issues.
Just chill out, man.
I'm saying that if it is Like part of it just it gets not my dander up, because that makes it sound like it's a red flag to me that maybe they're doing what I don't want to see.
Well, you have a much more measured response than somebody who probably has a healthy outlook on everything. But if you're the guy who's rushing to IMDb to list it as a goof because it gets you so heated, you're kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my point.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that
You're not that guy is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, Wade, what's your second
well,
prediction?
I'm glad we got through all the Klingon stuff so that I can make my second prediction. My second prediction is that someone on the Discovery is actually a Klingon in disguise. Somebody is
Well, we've used the term transspecies as like, because there's the Cardassians in Deep Space Nine do plants, where they do like cosmetic surgery to make themselves like Bajorans,
So it's
or
not
whatever.
unprecedented.
Yeah.
Even going back to the trouble with Tribbles, there's a guy that's a Klingon in disguise.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. Oh
Yes.
shit, you're right. Yes,
That's right.
And going back to that character promo that I mentioned earlier that actually got me psyched about it. Tecumseh is the character. He's talking about how we have to unite the Klingons. The Federation probably it will come at us through our DNA and our genes. They're trying to change what it is to be Klingon down to our very DNA, like, which got me excited. And even if it might be fan service that they're like dog whistling, in the promos, it felt almost like a reference to the augment virus, which I haven't even seen Enterprise, but it's why the Klingons look differently from the original series versus TNG.
It is
Holy shit, guys. What if Wade's second prediction and James's first prediction are related?
Ooh.
Oh, that would be...
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
They have said, like...
She would be such an amazing... I mean, I don't know what her physical condition is currently.
She is a warrior. She is known for her martial arts skill. Klingons are a martial arts or a warrior class of people.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't like Michelle Yeoh is a woman of a certain age. Can she still bring it?
I think if you have those set of skills and you keep yourself. Yeah, I'm sure she could. I think she could bring it enough for the streaming service, CBS Direct. Yes, I think she'll be fine.
She could kick my ass. I don't know.
Right.
No, I'm not asking. I'm just saying because she. I mean, yeah. So if like they put her on some wire, she can still do wire work and stuff like that. That would see. That's what I'm saying. The idea of it all ending and culminating with Michelle Yeoh fighting this Walking Dead
She's a
actress.
sleeper agent.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, will anybody be able to do wire work in that Klingon makeup? Because it's pretty extensive.
Okay.
Well, I guess the theory with her would she would have had the augment. It's not that she's having cosmetic surgery like they did in TNG and later on, but that she actually has the augment surgery like what we see in... Okay, so the Klingons specifically in the Trouble with Tribbles look just like dudes.
They look like bikers.
They don't look like they just look like normal dudes. They don't even have bronzer on, I don't think. They just have they have biker gear. Oh, they look like hippies. Tough hippies. So if she just is one of those, if she's augmented to that degree, that could be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And they don't have hair, and then one day they see Michelle Yeoh's character putting on her hair or something in her quarters. They come in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty ridiculous. But Wade, you know how these showrunners are always so proud of themselves for the homages to the original series. It's something that we see over and over. And I think that you picking up with Harry Mudd, The Trouble with Tribbles, the reveal at the end of that original episode, I think you're onto something. I think that you're really onto something.
And they've said that there's going to be these big, huge reveals and reversals. It's going to blow your mind that it's going to come in the middle of this highly serialized show that we're doing. And so somebody being a Klingon, I feel like is going to be one of them.
Oh man, you're probably right. I'm on board with this prediction, even though I never gave it much thought, but I think the case has been made and stronger as the three of us talk it out.
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah.
All right.
James's first prediction is, I think, on much stronger ground now that we've worked out Wade's second prediction.
Well, I didn't say that she was going to be the Klingon.
I know, but I'm just saying that it's starting to make sense.
We both are unlimited. We both are approaching our predictions from the limited modified hangout.
Yeah, let me walk this back.
If it doesn't go all his way, then I can still say that I got right on mine. But yeah, no, I think that you're right. I think that makes a certain amount of sense, and I think it would be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, So we're back to James with your last prediction for preseason prediction.
Oh shit! I believe at some point the Doug Jones character will die in the midpoint, and that will be the pivotal catalyst to give Walking Dead girl the heroes. That's her Obi-Wan dying.
Yeah.
To give her the sense to move forward. So I think that he's brought in as a prey race. He can sense death coming. He's ultimately going to make he's brought on as the type of character that makes an ultimate sacrifice and that has power in his death that he didn't have in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that'll be.
I mean, all these big shows, I mean, it's the character math of like a Joss Whedon show where like, I know I can build all this sympathy and character investment if I kill a person off. Yeah, so... Yeah, well,
that's my prediction. It's the midpoint death that caused her fourth into action, and they don't have to like shoot it around his weird fetlocks the whole show.
Y'all are so turned off by them fetlocks, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, well, I think they're shooting his character origin story, or they're shooting an episode that is just on his planet. It's the closest to a one-off episode and I think it's on the back end of the series because they still haven't shot the back half of it, because that's going to come in probably next year, maybe.
Yeah, that'll come when she takes the body to
and then it might be even a flashback episode about like where we explore what Kelpies are. That's the name of his race. Yeah. All right, maybe. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. What about your final and third prediction, Hugh?
All right. Well, I think that this just has to do with how this show will overall be affected by being on CBS's streaming service, which I've read probably 50 articles about Star Trek Discovery, and they all mention the streaming service. Yet, despite that, I can't remember the name of the actual streaming service. So that'll tell you the level of problem that they probably have with the streaming service. What is the name of it? Is CBS Direct? What is it called?
CBS, it's called CBS All Access.
Okay, CBS All Access. That sounds familiar. So my prediction is that if Star Trek Discovery is going to survive, it is going to have to be made available on actual TV for CBS viewers. Because I don't think that the value for whatever it is, $7.99 a month for one show.
Is it that much?
Please don't tell me it's that much.
Yeah, it's like $6.90. What is it?
I was hoping it was like 4 or 5.
I can Google it real quick.
Yeah.
CBS.
I guess we should point out that this is probably the second. Like this isn't. I don't think that they like the Good Wife spinoff is probably going to get more viewers than this.
Really?
Yeah, people love the Good Wife. That's why they made a spinoff of it.
It's like Christine Baranski's the lead on that.
It's got Baranski and it's got Rose Leslie, who Jon Snow did the thing with his tongue to. She's actually married to Jon Snow, isn't she?
I don't know.
Or engaged to him or something. It's those two.
Yeah. Well, according to Wikipedia, and I guess this prediction could be wrong, but I really don't think that the numbers are. They have 1.5 million people subscribed to this already, which when you're talking about TV numbers, that's really not that much.
It's not, but is the Baranski show come on yet?
Yeah, it launched.
Yes.
Oh, that's already launched, and that's all they're gotten, right?
Nobody cares about like maybe
I don't know what I'm saying.
Their big launch.
You're saying that, but people loved huge. Like more people, double the people watch The Good Wife every fucking episode.
Yeah, but
than watched Game of Thrones.
But they're CBS. That's like network CBS old people. They're not the people that are.
Here's my thing.
But it's the majority of It's the majority of America. It's more Americans watch The Good Wife and did it enthusiastically than did any show that we've ever talked about.
Right. But still, those people and will be very enthusiastic about The Good Wife. They still don't know how to sign up for a fucking streaming service.
That's the rub.
It's $5.99 a month.
Yeah.
And there's a $9.99 option for ad-free streaming content.
Yeah, I knew that there was that.
So basically,
wait, hold on. You can pay more and get what?
No commercials.
No commercials.
Yeah,
so you're paying $6 a month for streaming TV with commercials.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, but this is a fucking dumb idea.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, James. Even you coming knives out at this idea that Star Trek will have to survive on TV.
I agree with you.
Star Trek has never done well in its original run on ratings. It always does the best historically through syndication.
Yeah.
And so even starting on over the air, it's already going to be behind.
Well, that's
the
what I'm
eight ball.
saying. That's the whole reason they're launching it on All Access is they know they'll never get good TV ratings with it, but they think they have a niche audience and the nerds will be so enthusiastic about it and they're not completely wrong in that the people that might be more into classic Trekker people are more savvy about using software and computers and stuff, which they will be more likely than, say, your typical Good Wife old person, not talking about TV vulture recappers or whatever. Your average old person that was watching The Good Wife will just be confused by a streaming thing and won't bother with it because they won't even think to look it on because it's not on the time where they got the TV on. But they think that Star Trek people might be more likely
right.
to.
I understand that's where they're coming from, and they might be right to a degree.
Yeah.
But no matter how much, like I am on a Star Trek podcast, and if I wasn't, I wouldn't be paying for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not even sure, I don't want to speak for the YouTube, but there's a good chance that YouTube might not be paying for it anyway.
I'll pay for it.
I'm paying for it.
Okay.
But if I weren't on
good, then when you're waiting the 6 days between new episodes and your CBS All Access is just sitting there unused.
Yeah, no, I'll use it to actually watch Colbert.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess that's what I'll do too.
Yeah.
My prediction is this, is that if in season 2, Star Trek Discovery is going to have to be over the air in some form. They might even have to run the first season over there during the summer to get new fans or something, because I doubt this All Access bullshit's going to work for them.
Well, the thing they'll do is to sell it to Netflix, which the thing is, they've already paid for the production by selling the rights to Netflix, the international rights. That's why everybody outside of the United States and Canada gets screwed over. Will be able to watch Discovery through their Netflix because they bought the international rights. They're not going to air it on any air TV before season 2. They'll release it. I mean, like every show does that you can't watch on Netflix before their new season airs. They put it up on.
Oh wait. So you're going against his prediction. You don't think a single episode will air on CBS first?
Well, the first episode will.
Outside of the first.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it will.
So you think, so wait a minute.
I'm with him. I think it will. I think it will.
Wait a minute. Wait. You think CBS All Access is going to be a runaway hit thanks to one show?
Oh, no. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think CBS All Access is going to be a big failure. I'm just saying.
He just thinks they're going to eat it.
Yeah, I think they can eat it. And then, well, who knows? It could be really bad for Star Trek. I don't know. The franchise.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, if it's going to survive, it's going to have to be on TV, not All Access.
Well, I'm saying it's going to have...
This digital first stuff is bullshit.
I guess where I disagree with you is that it won't have to be on TV, but it'll be on another streaming service that actually has subscribers.
Okay.
I guess it's too fucking expensive.
I don't see it. I don't.
I don't think it's going to go well for them, but I don't know what they'll do with Star Trek if it bombs. Because, I mean, Netflix will want it. But Netflix, rumors are that Netflix is already pissed off at CBS for the deal because of what they thought they were getting. But that's nothing but rumor.
And I think that all Star Trek series are going to leave Netflix by like 2019 or something like that.
Well, my first cynical prediction was they were going to take it off once All Access came out, but luckily they're not doing that, but who knows?
All right, Wade, what is your final prediction for Star Trek Discovery?
All right. Yeah, so I don't have anything as epic as the argument about how bad All Access is going to be for anybody, but it does actually key into James's final prediction that Doug Jones, Lieutenant Saru is going to die. I'm with you that they're definitely going to kill somebody. I'm not as... I guess this is a little bit cynical of me too, is they've been talking up about how diverse and progressive the show is going to be, but the cynical part of me, and this is the prediction that I'm most ashamed of, my final prediction is that they're going to kill one of the gay guys. They're going to fridge Adam Rapp's boyfriend.
Yeah, so Adam Rapp.
Because they have such a poor television in general, has such a poor history of...
Yeah, they're going to look at like, oh, we have to do the character math to kill somebody to get the story sympathies going.
Right.
Adam Rapp's there is a case to be made that it's going to be one of the leads because that's how they do things, or one of the main ensemble. That's how they do things on TV now. But
Yeah.
My thing is like with the producers coming on and like the Hollywood blockbuster math that maybe some of the producers might be doing, they'll be like, all right, well, we're going to have these gay guys. We're going to have them make out because we love gay people. And yeah, you know, but I don't know. We should still throw a bone to those kind of right-leaning Star Trek fans, and we'll espouse all this progressive agenda, but just to be safe, let's kill one of the gay guys.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, wait, do you think that he gravitates from there to after his grief, then just going into the standard trope of the gay best friend of the female lead?
yeah.
When she's upset, he's over there to talk.
I mean,
like, no, I don't think.
I don't think they'll go that far. But I'm just saying, Wilson Cruz, watch out.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think that that's definitely possible, and we could both be right. They could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that they could both be right. There could be a major event in the middle of the show.
Oh, I'm sure that because they split it into two half seasons already. I'm sure there's going to be a big cliffhanger at the end of episode 8 or whenever they split it. Which
Mm-hmm. Do we know is Pike in the show?
I don't think so.
Okay, there's no Pike. There's no announced Pike in the show.
No.
All right,
Yeoman Pike, he's 21 years old, and
Yeah.
no, I don't
Well,
know.
because this will happen at the same time as The Cage, the pilot to the original series.
Right.
And so I think
I'm just joking.
So now I'm going to unpack this. You threw it out early about this Garth of Izar thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually, I've been looking at it. It's actually a little bit more developed, and there's more to it, maybe. Because our Izar was a war hero in an unnamed war with an unnamed alien race.
Oh yeah.
And in the middle of it, he won them a big victory, but he became a little unhinged and started genociding the people.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And if that was the thing,
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit, the show, that's pretty fucking dark. If the Federation starts genociding Klingons.
Yeah, that could clean up a lot of the people upset about the new Klingon looks too.
Oh my God. Wait a minute.
Could be
Wait a minute. Okay, let's say if that is a possibility that the story goes down that path, and Michelle Yeoh's a sleeper agent, then we're left with two.
Yeah. And we got one or the no. It's one or the other.
Right.
It's not
right.
I mean,
his name is, unless Garth of Izar is like a
Okay. So he was made. I don't think
stage name.
Yeah, I don't think Garth of Izar was his actual name. I'm looking on Memory Alpha here. He suffered there was an alien race that gifted him with the technique of cellular metamorphosis. So he had this burnt, mangled body, and he could regenerate it. They also offered him to be the head of the galaxy. Yeah, okay, so at this point, he's wearing like a little crown, but it looks like his outfit looks exactly like the outfit that Jason Isaac's wearing.
Whoa.
In the promos.
What?
Yeah. It's got like that double breast. I mean, not exactly like, but it's a double breasted, high collared thing. And then he's got flashier elements to it. But underneath it is a navy double breasted tunic, high collared tunic. Anyway, so maybe at some point in this that he went by another name. Like did he I haven't seen this episode, or if I have, I don't remember it.
I remember
Is
him.
Garth of Izar his actual name, or did he adapt that in his?
I don't know.
Vainglorious, whatever the original show.
I mean, if it was not his original name, then it would say it in Memory Alpha.
Right. No. So that's like I think that's mostly debunked, but people were like, "Oh my god."
Well, there's an Axar component to it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Battle of Axanar is the big battle.
Yeah, right. So, but that's my thing is that anytime you get into Axanar. And you said on our first episode that they were stepping on some story elements from that. Remember?
Right. Well, because Axanar has to do with the Klingon War and stuff, and
right. So, I don't know.
So there we know.
I'm not saying that there's not. I'm saying that he could be. Yeah.
There is a novel called Garth of Izar.
I don't want to read.
But it's commanded by Garth of Izar in a single Klingon warship. Yeah, so I mean, it's considered the 4 Years' War.
Does he have a southern accent? This Garth, I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't. It's one of those.
No, it's going to be interesting. I think there's, these showrunners are always so proud of themselves whenever they lay in some reference to the original series that I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Garth of Izar situation, or we get a transhuman alien homage to Trouble with Tribbles with the Harry Mudd. I'm leaning more toward the Harry Mudd Trouble with Tribbles sleeper agent thing now.
I think I am too. And I like the idea that Jason Isaacs would be the, I guess for lack of a better word, like a Dr. Cox like figure of like an asshole whose hand tips towards justice and being the good role model.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that's like, we got to fuck him up, I think. And then she's like, yeah. And from one of the promos, like, because he's kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that the worst case scenario is that our ideas that we're coming up with on the show are far more interesting than what we actually see.
Isn't that always the
and
case?
that the show's a big turd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say, guys, before we close this thing out?
No. I guess
Anything about the phone number? Or
if anybody has their own predictions they want to give to us,
yes,
they should let us know. Or if you think we're...
Or school us.
Yeah, just tell us how wrong we are. It's like, it's obviously not Garth of Izar because blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, because I don't remember this.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
all.
not.
Is it late third season? Because I got like halfway through the third season, I bailed.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not watching any of these shows.
Before streaming, I bought all of them on iTunes. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the remastered ones.
Okay.
They look good. They look really good.
All right. So, give us a call about your own predictions and tell us how dumb ours are. You can reach us at 917-408-3898. That's the same hotline number as our other podcast, The Rules of Acquisition. So let us know that you're talking about a Discovery Home Companion and your predictions. And, maybe we'll use them. Maybe we'll talk about them later. Who knows?
Yeah. We were pretty good about airing them and giving you a full...
Yeah. You can follow us at Acquisition Pod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or send us an email at... right now, it's at rulesofacquisitionpodcast@gmail.com.
We call our good Twitterers from Rules of Acquisition, Friends of Cisco. We might have to call these the Friends of Garth of Eyes. Friends of Garth.
Party on, Garth.
Everybody.
Party on, Wade. Oh, no.
That'll make me so happy if we can say that every episode. All right. Okay, I'm done.
All right. That's a good time to close out. Let's do it.
All right.
Party.
Thanks again. Next time you'll be hearing from us, we will be recapping the first episode. Is that correct, Wade? Am I saying the right thing?
Well, who knows? I mean, you'll definitely hear from us then. We'll see if situations arise that we need to do another one before then. Anything could happen.
If we get a bunch of theory call-ins, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I shouldn't have said that then. Just cut that out. Okay. Well, thanks again for listening to a Discovery Home Companion. 3 to beam out.
This has been an ROA podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Caster or Fuckcast or Podsucker. Review us on iTunes. Also grab a bit of fame for yourself by calling us at 917-408-3898 and leaving us a message. We play that shit on air. Or email us at rulesofacquisitionpodcast@gmail.com. Also, listen to our Deep Space Nine podcast, Rules of Acquisition. It is pretty amazing, but you may not yet be ready for its awesome amazingness. Assess your personal awesomeness appropriately.